Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to understand how we can find the equation of a straight line which can satisfy given set of data points. So this is known as fitting a straight line, and this topic comes under the curve fitting. So we will take a working example to understand this, and then we will see how we can implement this approach into a C program. So let's start. Let's first understand what do you mean by curve fitting. So to understand this, let's assume that we are given some set of data points in the form of x comma y. So these are the coordinates or the data points 1 comma 1.5, 2 comma 0.5 and so on. So here in this graph, I have plotted all these data points in these dot points. So curve fitting means actually we have to find the relation between these x comma y points. So how we can join or how we can find the relation between these data points? So actually I can draw a curve something like this to join these data points. Okay. So in this way I can say these data points are related to each other. Okay. And this curve will be having some equation. Okay. Which will be joining all these data points mathematically, or I can join them in some another way. I can join these data points something like this, then this, then this, then this, and so on. Okay. So there can be many such relation or many such curves which can actually join these data points. So we can say we can have a curve, something like line or a parabola or an exponential curve or so on that can fit these data points which are given to us. So now when we say we have to find the curve which can satisfy all these data points, then what does it mean? So finding the curve means finding the equation of that curve which can satisfy these data points, or the curve that we will be finding, it should have the property that it should be best fitting. That means we want that particular curve which can best fit or which can satisfy these data points in the best possible manner. So what does it mean? So best fitting curve actually means the curve which can actually minimize the error. So for example, I can draw a straight line which I can say that this is the curve which is actually satisfying all these data points. Or I can draw some another line, for example, this way also. Okay. So in this way, there can be many such lines. Okay. So if we assume this line, then we can say that from this point, this line is actually at a distance of this, right? And this point is at a distance of this, and this point is at a distance of this. Okay. So same way, these points are at some distance from the actual curve line that we are getting. So this is the actually the error, the distance between the actual data point and the actual curve line. So we have to find such type of curve which can actually minimize this error. Okay. So this is meant by best fitting curve. So I hope you have understood what does it mean by curve fitting. We have to find a curve which can actually fit these data points. Okay. And finding the curve mean we have to find the equation of that curve. So in this case, if this is the line and this is the curve that we are getting, then we have to find actually the equation of this line. Okay. And there can be many such curves. For example, there can be parabola, there can be exponential curve which can actually fit a particular given data points. So in this video, we will be seeing that how we can find a straight line which can actually fit the given data points. Okay. So here in this video, we are actually seeing that we have to find the equation of the line. The curve will be actually the line. So we have to find the best fitting line which can actually satisfy all these given data points. Now you know what is the equation of line. The equation of line is y equal to a plus bx, where a is the intercept and b is the slope. So just for recall, here is the x-axis and y-axis, and this is the straight line y equal to a plus bx. So this is the intercept, and this line will be having some slope which is represented by b, this b. Okay. So actually when we are saying that we have to find the equation of the straight line which is best fitting the given data points, that means we have to actually find this equation. And how we can find this equation? We can find this equation when we know the a and b, that is these are some constant in this equation of line. So for example, we can get something like y equal to 2 plus 3x as the output or as the curve equation. Okay. So this is a and this is b. So our main motive is we will be given some set of data points and we have to find the a and B using these given data points so that we can get this equation of the straight line. Now there are many methods to find these A, B or the constant in the curve. For example, we are having some graphical methods. We are having the method of group average, method of least square and method of moments. Now in this video, we will be actually using this method of least square to find this constant or to find the equation of the straight line. So how actually this method of least square will be helping us to find this constant or the equation of straight line? We will be seeing it with the help of a working example. So here is our working example. So here in this question, we have to find the equation of straight line which can actually fit our given these data points. So we are given the data points x and the y. So it means x is given as 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. And y values are given as 1, 1.8, 3.3 and so on. So we can say that we are given the first data point as 0, 1, second is 1, 1.8, third is 2, 3.3 and so on. So this is the x value and this is the y value. Okay. And we have to use the method of least square or the least square method to find this equation of the straight line or the curve. Okay. So now let's see how we can apply this method of least square to find the constant or the equation of the straight line. Okay. So we know the equation of straight line is y equal to a plus bx. So let's say this is the equation number 1. So first, what step we have to do? We have to apply the summation on this equation number 1. So if we apply the summation, it will be summation of y. Then this will actually be n into a. How it will be n into a? So here this a is constant and this b is constant. So let's say if a is 2 and if we applying this summation on this 2. Okay. So this summation means we are actually adding the values of the y's, that is these 1, 1.8 and all this value till 6.3 n times or the number of observations time. So here in this question, we are actually how many number of observations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 data points. So n will be 5. So this summation means we are actually adding the things 5 times or the n times. So in this way, if we are adding this to 5 times, that means we are actually multiplying this to 5 times. So this is n, this is a. Okay. So this way we have written n into a plus b into. Now here it will be summation of x. The summation is actually applied on the variables. Okay. Now let's say this is the equation number 2. Now next step, what we have to do? We have found this equation. Now we have to again multiply this equation number 1 with x. Okay. So on this we will get xy, summation of xy equal to. Now here it is a. So now after applying the summation, we will get a into summation of x because summation is applied on the x plus here it will be b. Now here x is already, so here 1x is there and we are actually multiplying this again with x, so it will be x square. Okay. So this is equation number 3. So we got 2 equations. So now next step, what we have to do? So the next step is we are seeing that there are many summations, summation of y, summation of xy, summation of x and summation of x square. So all these 4 summations we have to actually find. We have to find the values of all these 4 summations. Okay. So that we can actually find the values of a and b. So let's see how we can do that. So here you can see we have tabulated the values of the x and the values of the y in this table. So these are the x value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and these are the y values from 1 to 6.3. Okay. So these are the same values that we have listed here in our question. So as we have said that we have to find this x into y, x square, x and y. So here you can see that this xy is actually what? This is actually the multiplication of x and the y values. So here in this third column, we have the x multiply y and this fourth thing is x square. So here it is x square. So how we will be actually finding all these 4 values? So this is summation of x. So summation of x means we have to add all these values from 0 to 4. Okay. So this will be summation of x and if we add all these values, what we will get? So 4 plus 3 will be 7, 7 and then 2, 9 and this one will be 10. So this summation of x will be 10 after adding all these values. The same way we can find this summation of y here we have shown. Okay, so if we add all these values 1, 1.8, 3.3, we will get 16.9 after adding all these values. Okay, now we have to find the xy. Okay, and whatever values we will be getting here, we will be actually adding them, and we will be finding summation of xy. Then we will be finding the various values of the x square, and we will be adding those x square values to find the summation, and then we will be getting this. Okay, so let's see. So here x into y we have to find. So here x is 0, y is 1. So 0 multiply 1 will be 0. Then 1 into 1.8. So it will be 1.8. Okay. So next, this will be 2 multiply 3.3. So this will be 6.6. And so on, we can find the other values. So I have listed the other values also. So if we add all these values from 0, 1.8, 6.6, all these values, so I will get the summation of xy as 47.1. Okay, so you can add them and you will see you will be getting this value only. Now the same way we can find the x square. So x square means we have to find the square of these x values. So square of 0 will be 0, square of this 1 will be 1, square of 2 will be 4, then it will be 3 3 are 9 and 4 4 are 16. Okay, so if we add all these values 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, we can get x square. So it will be actually 30 if we add all these x square values. Okay, so we have got all the values: summation of x, summation of y, summation of xy, and summation of x square. Okay, so now see what is the next step. So I have again listed that table that we have just found, the summation of x, summation of y, and all these values. And these are the two equations that we have seen just previously. These are the same, these two equations. Okay, now what actually we will be doing, we will be putting all these values, summation of y, summation of x, summation of x square, and summation of xy, from all these values that we have just found. Okay, so if we put various values, then summation of y is 16.9. Then this will be n into a. So n is number of observations. So there are 5 data points. Okay, so n is actually 5. Then this will be a, plus this summation of x is 10. Okay, so this will be 10 b. Okay, b is the constant that we have to find. Now if we put the various values in this equation, summation of xy is 47.1 equal to, so this summation of x is 10, so this will be 10 into a, plus summation of x square, it is 30, so this will be 30b. So these are the two equations that we have found after putting the various values of the summation. Now our aim is we have to find the values of the a and b from these given two equations. And how we can find the values of the a and b from these two equations? So as we know, we have the two equations, and let's say we have the two variables, we can say a and b. We have to find the values. So it is very easy. So to find the values of this a and b, you can use any method. You can use, let's say, Gauss elimination method, any row transformation method, or you can just use any simple method that you have just studied in your school days. Okay, so what we will be doing, I will be multiplying this equation by 2. So if we multiply this equation by 2, then what will actually happen, this will become as 10a, and after that I can cancel out this 10a by this 10a. Okay, so in this way I will be finding the various values of the a and b. So let's see. So if we multiply this equation by 2, what we will be getting? So 16.9 into 2, it will be 33.8. Then this will be 10a. Then plus this will become 20b. Okay, and I will keep this equation as such. So I will write this as such. So now I will be changing the sign. So this will be minus, this will be minus, and this will be minus. So this will cancel out. And if we subtract this 33.8 minus 47.1, then I will be getting minus of 13.3, then equal to this 20 minus 30, it will be minus of 10b. Okay, so this minus minus will cancel out, and from here b will be 13.3 upon 10. So this implies b will be 1.33. So this is the value of my b. Now we have to find the value of the a. So I can put b in any of these equation and I can find the value of a. So let's say if I put the value of b in this first equation, so I put the value of the b in this equation, and if I simplify this to find this value of a, I will be getting this equation, and if I simplify this, I will get 0.72. So this implies a is 0.72. Okay, so I have got a as 0.72 and b as 1.33. So what will be my equation of the line. So my equation of line was y equal to a plus bx. So my equation will be y equal to a is my 0.72 plus what is the value of b? B is 1.33 into x. So this is our equation of the straight line, which is best fitting our given data points x comma y, these given data points. Okay, so I hope you have understood this method. This is very easy actually. So just for the recall, we were given these data points and we have to apply the method of least square. So this method says first you have to write the equation of the straight line y equal to a plus bx, then apply the summation on this. So we get this equation, then multiply this again by x. So we will be getting this equation. So we have got this equation. And now we have to find these various summations. So for this, we have listed out all these x comma y values in this table. Then we have found the x multiplied by and x square, and we have found the summations, all these four summations. Okay, and after finding all these four summations, we have put the various summation values in this given two equation, and after putting the values of the given summations, we have got two equations, and we can use any method to find the value of the a and b from these equations. So after finding the values of the a and b, we have got the equation of the straight line. Okay, now before going to the algorithm of this method, I want to tell you that when we will be solving these equations in our C program, we will be actually using the method of Gauss elimination. Okay, so I have already told in one of the other video that how we can apply the Gauss elimination. You can find the link of this Gauss elimination method in the numerical playlist video. Okay, so you can find the link of that playlist in the description below or in the I button also. The Gauss elimination method is to find the solution of the system of linear equations. Okay, so in C program, I will be using the Gauss elimination method. Now let's see the algorithm and the pseudocode to apply this method into a C program. Now, as you have seen just that we were given some values of the x in the question and some values of the y. So same thing we will be asking from the user. So before that, we will be asking how many values of the x and the y you will be taking from the user. So let's say in the question, if we are given 4 values of the x and 4 values of the y, that means we have the 4 data points of the form x comma y. So that means our number of observations or the number of data points will be 4. So n will be 4 in this question. Okay, so we will be asking how many values of the n you want to take from the user. Then we will be taking the values of the x and values of the y. Now after taking these inputs, we have to find the various summation values: summation of x, summation of y, summation of xy, and summation of x square. Now when we have found these various summation, what we have done in our question, we have actually put all these summation values in our two equations, and by solving those two equations we will be getting the values of the a and b, and after getting these values we will be putting a and b in the equation of the straight line to get our equation of the straight line with the values of the a and with the values of the b. Okay, so the algorithm is very simple. So now let's see how we can implement this with the C program. And for this, let's see this pseudocode. So here are the values that we have seen during our working example. These are the various values of the x, various values of the y, and the other values. Okay, so how we will be taking the values of the x and the y from the user? That means where will I store the various values of the x and various values of the y in my C program? So for that, I will be taking two arrays, two one-dimensional arrays, x and y. So x array will be storing these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and y array will be storing these 1, 1.5, and so on. And as we have to store how many values, accordingly the number of n that we will be getting from the user. Okay, so let's say in this case we are having n equal to 5 because we are having 5 data points, 5 x values and 5 y values. Okay, so the size of this x array will be n and y array will also be n. That means in this case n will be 5. Now the next step in our question was we have to find these various summation. Okay, and to find these various summations we have to find this thing also. Okay, now before proceeding, let me tell you that there may be many other methods also available to implement this code into a C program. So my approach can be one of the approach. You can take any other approach also. You can take a matrix also to store all these values x, y, xy, and x square. But I will be taking some another approach. Here you can see I have taken just two one-dimensional arrays x and y to store my input. Now one person can do that, he can just multiply this 0, 1, then he can store in some another 1D array of size 5 this 0, then he can just multiply this 1 into 1.8 from this x and y arrays, and he can store this 1.8 in another place of the array. Okay, so all these numbers or all this data will be stored in a third array, and then he will be finding the summation of all these data point. Okay, then he can take another 1D array to store all these 0, 1, 1, 4, 9, 16 after multiplying all these values. So then he will be adding all these values and finding this summation of x square. That means he can take, let's say, another 1D array also, or he can take a complete two-dimensional array also to store all the values. So actually I will not be storing these values and these values in any of the array. Okay, I will be actually directly finding this summation of xy and summation of x square, summation of y and summation of x without storing these values. So let's see how. So I will be actually taking a loop from I equal to 0 to I less than n. So here n is 5. So I will be running a loop from 0 to 4. Okay. And inside this for loop, I will be finding this summation of x, y, xy and x square. That means when this loop will be over, I will be having all these summation values. Okay, and where I will be storing all these summation values. So here are four variables. Summation of 1, it will be storing summation of x. This sum of 2, it will be storing summation of y. It will be storing summation of xy, and it will be storing summation of x square. Okay, so let's see how. So here you can see inside these loops I have four variables. Okay, and in these four variables I have used the xi, yi, xi and xi. Okay, so this loop is running from I equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in each of the iteration I will be going from 0 to 4. So here you can see what I am doing. Actually, when I is 0, I am saying, okay, find the summation of x. But how you can find the summation of x? So you are saying, okay, this sum one. So sum one value initially is 0 plus the value of the xi. That means this value. So this is 0. So it will be 0. So that means I am adding this value. Okay. So this sum 1, it will be 0. I am writing here. Okay. Now this step is actually helping us to find the summation of y. So for that I need this value. Okay, and after that I will be needing this value. So first this yi will be y0. So y0 is actually this value. Okay, so this will be 0 plus 1. So it will be 1. So sum 2 will be 1. That means I have found the summation of this. So in the next step I will be finding this answer, then this answer. So you can see sum 3 plus xi into yi. So this is actually the multiplication of x and y values, these values. So this x0 into y0, it will be 0 into 1. That means 0. So this total will be actually 0. So this will be 0. And the same way I am finding here x square. That means this value. So this means multiply the x value 2 times x0 into x0. That means this one. So it will be 0 for the time being. So it will be 0. So in the next iteration, you can understand that I is 1. So now I will be actually using these values. Okay. So now first I have to find this summation of x. For that, what I need, I have to add this one into the previous sum. So previous sum is stored in this sum 1. So previous answer is 0 plus xi. That means this. So this will be 1. Okay. So this will be 1. Okay. So in this way, this is now new one. Now in the next step, what I will be doing, I will be finding the summation of y, but for that I need to add 1.8 with the previous sum. Okay, so 1.8 will be y of 1. Okay, so this will be like 1 plus 1.8. Okay, so it will be 2.8. So it will be 2.8. And in the next step I will be finding the again x into y. So x into y, that means I have to find 1.8. So for I equal to 1, this is xi, this is yi. This will be 1.8. So this is 1.8, and previous sum 3, what is the value? It is 0. You can see here. So this will be 0 plus 1.8. So it will be 1.8. And here I am finding x square, that means this answer, that means multiplication of this xi 2 times. So it will be 1 only. So 0 plus 1, 1 value. So what actually you are saying that in the third iteration, I will be adding this 2 with this answer. So it will be 3. So some 1 will be 3. In the next iteration, I will be actually adding this 3.3 with this total complete previous answer 1 and 1.8. So 3.3 plus 1.8 and 1 I will be getting inside this sum 2. The same way for this, that is this line, is actually finding this 6.6 and is also adding this with the previous sum. Previous sum is 1.8. So 6.6 plus 1.8 I will be storing inside this sum 3. And the same way 4 will be added with this, and we will be getting 5 by this sum 4 line. Okay, so I am actually finding this summation in this single loop. I can use actually 4 loops also to find this summation, but that will just make the code lengthy. So it is like a better version of this code. I am just using one loop and I am actually finding all these summations in just one single loop. Okay, so I hope you have understood that after I will come out of this for loop, you will be actually having the summation of x inside this sum 1, summation of y inside this sum 2, and summation of all these values, that is summation of xy inside this sum 3, and summation of x square, that is sum of all these values inside the sum 4. Okay, so all these 4 summations are available after this for loop. Okay, so now what is the next thing? I have to use this summation and I have to put all these summation values in the two equations. So these are the two equations that we have seen during our working example. So I have put all the values inside this, okay, and I have put all the values of the summation in this two equations. So we have got this thing as we have seen in our working example. So how we will be solving this? So as I have told you, there are many methods. You can use any of the method during your working example or during your C implementation. So I will be using Gauss elimination method actually to find the values of the A and B from given these two equations. So for that, what I need a augmented matrix. Okay, so in the augmented matrix, first I will be writing these values. Okay, so these coefficient are 5, 10, and this will be 16.9. Okay, here I will be writing 16.9. Then this will be your 10, this will be your 30, and this will be your 47.1. So if you are not following what I am doing, you can just see the Gauss elimination method video in my playlist, in the numerical method playlist. In that I have explained that if we are given some simultaneous linear equation, then how we can find the values of the unknown. Here unknowns are A and B. Okay, so these are the simultaneous linear equations actually. Okay, so this is called augmented matrix. I have written just AM. Okay, so now how will be writing the code in our C program for this? Now if I name this matrix as augmented matrix, so here you can see that the size of this augmented matrix is how much? Here we have 2 rows and we have 3 columns. So the size will be 2 and 3. Okay, so this is the position number 0, 0, 0, 1 and 0, 2. This is 1, 0 position, 1, 1 and 1, 2. So what I will be doing after finding the summation, I have to create this augmented matrix. Okay, so for that, what I will be doing, as you know, these are the various values of the summation and the other thing also. Okay, so to create this augmented matrix, I will be saying that I have defined a augmented matrix, then I have put various values. So here you can see this 5 is actually the value of the n. So I am saying at 0, 0 position, I am putting n. Then at 0, 1 position, this. So this was actually what? So this is actually summation of x, and summation of x was saved in sum of 1. And now this 16.9 is what? This 16.9 is summation of y, and this was saved in sum of 2. So at 0, 2 position, we have saved the value of sum of 2. So we have created this place also. Now in the 1th row, okay, at 1, 0 position, this is actually 10. And what is this 10? So this 10 is the value of, this summation of x. This summation of x was saved in sum of 1. So sum of 1 is here. At 1, 1 position, I have said sum 4. So at 1, 1, we have 30. So this 30 is what? This 30 is this. So correspondingly, this 30 is summation of x square.
and this was actually saved in sum of 4. So I have written this sum of 4. Now the last value 47.1, this is summation of xy. So at 1 2 position, augmented matrix 1 2 position, we have sum 3. So this summation of xy was saved in sum of 3. Okay, so now with this thing I have created this augmented matrix actually. Okay, so to find the values of the a and b, that means, so now we have to find the solution of this augmented matrix, or you can say solution of this simultaneous equation. So for that, Gauss elimination method says that we have to convert this matrix into upper triangular matrix so that all the values below the primary diagonal are zeros. Okay. So actually in this matrix, it is very easy to convert this matrix into upper triangular matrix. Okay. So our motive is we have to convert this 10 into 0 to convert this matrix into upper triangular matrix. Okay, so for this we have to apply the various row transformations. Okay, so if I have to make this 10 as 0, what I have to do? So what I can do, if I subtract something from this 10, I can get 0. So what should I subtract from this 10? You will say, sir, subtract 10. Okay, but I have to use this row and I have to use this row. So what I will be doing, I will be subtracting this 10 from this, actually this 5, but I have to somehow make this 5 as 10. So by what value I should multiply this 5 so that it become 10? So you will say 2. So I can say 10 minus, if I say 2 multiply this 5, I will get 0 as the answer. Okay, so to multiply this 5, how will be I knowing that I have to multiply this by 2 in my C program? So for this, if you have seen in my Gauss elimination video, you will know that this is actually the ratio that I have to find. So in this question, the ratio, it will be like this 10 upon this 5. This will be the actually formula to find the ratio. Okay, so I will be actually applying the row transformation as row number 2. It will be row 2 minus the value of this ratio multiply the element of the row number 1. Okay, so I have to apply the same thing with the other values also. 30 minus 2 multiply 10, 47.1 minus of 2 into 16.9. 2 is the ratio for this question. Okay, so in this way I will be getting the upper triangular matrix. So if we apply this, I will be getting this as like here the first row, that is row number 1. This row number 1, it will be like 5, 10, 16.9. It will be unaffected because I am changing the row number 2. Now here it will be 0. Why? It will be like 10 minus of 2 multiply this 5. Okay. Now what will be here? It will be 30, that is row 2 element, that is this. Then this will be minus of the ratio will be constant, that is 2. 2 multiply 10, that is this 10. So 2 multiply 10 will be 20. 30 minus 20, it will be 10 here. The same way, what will be coming here? It will be 47.1 minus of twice of 16.9. Twice of 16.9 is 33.8. So total will be 13.3 after subtraction. So this will be 13.3. Okay. So now this is the upper triangular matrix because all the elements below this diagonal are 0. I have not to take this thing. Okay, I have to see just only this part. Okay, so now this is the upper triangular matrix, and now as you have seen in my first elimination video, I have to apply the back substitution method to find the various values of the a and the b. Okay, so for this I will be first solving this part. Okay, so you can see this was actually corresponding to this thing. Okay, so this is actually helping me to find the values of the a actually. So if I convert this into equation, then what it will be? So this is coefficient of a, coefficient of b, and this is the constant. So it will be the coefficient of a is just 0, so I will not be writing. So I will be writing simple 10b equal to 13.3. So this will be giving me b as 1.33. Okay, the same value that I have got during working example, and if I put this into this equation, I will be getting the value of a as 0.2. You can solve this also. Okay, here you can see first I have found the ratio, and how I can find the ratio? I have to just divide this 10 position by 00. So this was actually 10 position, okay, 10, and 0 position was 5, so 10 upon 5. So this was giving me the ratio. In this example it was 10 upon 5, that means 2. Now after that I have applied this row transformation. And how many times I have applied this row transformation? I have applied 3 times, for this, and for this. So I have run a loop 3 times from 0, 1 and 2. Okay, and what I have done, I have applied this transformation. So this row 2 is corresponding to this element, the element of the row 2. This augmented matrix 0i is actually this row 1 element, and this ratio is actually this ratio. Okay, and every time I am changing in which row, I am changing in this row. Okay, 1th row. Okay, and this I is going from where? I is 0, then I will be 1, I will be 2. So that means this will be something like 1 0, then 1 1, then 1 2. Okay, so at these various places I will be getting the changed value, that means these values. Okay, so I think this code is actually very easy. You can just run this thing and you can see that how this code is working. Okay, and if you are not able to understand it, you can see the Gauss elimination video. You will be easily able to find this code and you will be easily able to understand. Okay, so you can just try this out. So this code is actually helping me to find this upper triangular matrix only. Okay, by this code I have actually not found the values of the A and B. I have found this upper triangular matrix. Okay, so now from this upper triangular matrix I have to find the values of this A and B. So what I will be doing to find the values of the A and B, I will be just dividing this 13.3 by 10 to find the value of the B. Okay, so to find the value of B, I will just divide this element by this. So this is the like 1th row and 2nd column. This is 1th row and 1st column. So if I divide augmented matrix element 1 2 by 1 1, so here you can see augmented matrix element 1 2 by 1 1. I will be finding the value of the B in my C program. Okay, and this line will help me to find the value of A. Okay, so this is actually what? This is 5A plus 10B equal to 16.9. Okay, so if I want to find the value of A, so this will be 16.9 minus 10B upon 5. Okay, so I will be using this form. Okay, here, so you can see A equal to this 16.9 is what? So this is the 0 comma 2th element. So here you can see 0 comma 2th element minus this is 10B. Okay, so what is this 10? So this 10 is actually this thing. Okay, or you can say this thing. So this 10 is actually which element? 0 comma 1. So you can see minus of 0 comma 1. Okay, multiply B value. So B value I have got from here. Okay, now divided by this 5. So this 5 is actually 0 comma 0 element divided by 0 comma 0 element. So I have applied this thing and I have found the value of pi using the value of B. Okay, so I have got the value of A and B. Now I am printing the equation. Okay, so I have to find, or I have to just print the value of y equal to A plus bx. Okay, so I should print A is what? A is actually 0.72 as I have told you earlier, and B I was getting as 1.33 into x. Okay, so here you can see I have printed the same thing, y equal to this percentile f, that means this thing A. Then second thing is B, so I will be printing B from here, and I have just used the plus sign just to print this plus. Okay, and percentile 0.2 is just for printing the just 2 decimal places values after this point. Okay, so this will be printing my equation line. Okay, so I hope you have understood that how we have implemented this pseudocode, and if you have not understood any of this step, I would recommend you that you please rewind this video and you see that how we have gone through each of the small steps, okay, to implement this code. So the code is very easy, just you have to take care that how you have to apply the various small thing to implement in a C code. So now let's see the complete C program for this method. So here you can see we have the C program to fit a straight line on given data points. Okay, so here is our main function. So here are various sum values. Okay, and we have defined the A and B also. So first we have asked the number of observation from the user. Then we have defined two arrays x and y according to the size of the n. And here we have taken the augmented matrix also of the size 2 rows and 3 columns. And after that, we have taken the values of the x and the y in just simple two for loops. And after that, we have found the various summation values in this loop. Okay. And after that, we have find the slope and the intercept. So slope and intercept was like values of the a and b. So for that, first we have formulated everything in a matrix, that is augmented matrix. And after that, we have solved that. And this code is actually finding the upper triangular matrix from this augmented matrix, okay, using the Gauss elimination method. And after that, we have just printed that upper triangular matrix. Okay, so this is like optional, you can just print for your just understanding. And after that, we have applied the back substitution method, and just we have discussed to find the values of the a and b. And finally, we have printed the equation of the line using those a and b value. Okay, so let me run this program and see what is the output that we are getting. So the number of observation are 5 and the values of the x was 0 to 4. Now let me enter the values of the y. So now I have entered the values of the y that was given in our working example. So here you can see this is actually my upper triangular matrix that we have seen during our pseudocode also. So here you can see this is the equation of the line. So this is actually a 0.72 and 1.33 was b. So here you can see 0.72 is actually the intercept and 1.33 is actually the slope of the line. So this is the curve, or this is the equation of the straight line that will be fitting our given data points, that is x comma y, these various data points. The same way you can apply this code on the other data points also, and you can see what is the equation of line that you are getting. So I hope you have understood this C program. If you have any questions, comment or suggestion, please write down into the comment box. And if you have not understood any of the thing, please also write down into the comment box. And do like and share this video. Also subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for further notification. If you want to see more such videos on the numerical methods, then you can see my numerical method playlist in the video description below. You can find the other methods. So see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.